Watchdives specialize in high quality and very affordable homage watches, ranging from about $66 up to about $179. Then they have some more premium collaboration pieces with San Martin that cost between $200 and $289. The watch we will review today is their WD79090 model and is an homage to a Tudor model introduced in 1989, then discontinued in 1999, and usually sells for over $5,000. Here, Watchdives offers that same classic Subby look for just over $100. Let's get into it. I get that this style of watch is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I feel like Subby homages have been done for many years now, and perhaps the buzz around this design has diminished. I admit I'm a fan of this kind of watch, and I really like that Watchdives chose to create a watch that pays homage to an older model. And when it comes to homage watches of this model, there are many options to choose from that mimic modern versions that have slightly bigger case dimensions, as well as a ceramic bezel insert. Let's go over the dimensions of this piece. We have a case diameter of 39 millimeters and 40 millimeters at the bezel. Material is 316L stainless steel with a lug-to-lug measurement of 47 millimeters. We have a lug width of 20 millimeters, and that bracelet tapers down to 16 millimeters at the clasp. A thickness of 13.8 millimeters to the top of the double dome sapphire crystal. We have a water resistance rating of 200 meters. It is powered by the Seiko NH35 movement, which beats at 3 Hz or 6 ticks per second. And the weight is 152 grams. Size for my 7-inch wrist with 2 links removed, it's 145 grams. One design feature that I really like about this model are the lugs, which are slimmer and taper more dramatically toward the bracelet. The top of the lugs have a circular brushing which nicely replicates the original and have drilled openings for easy strap changes. There are thin and well executed chamfered edges in high polish that separate the sides of the case to the top. Although the case is about 39 millimeters in diameter, the bezel is at 40 millimeters, which yields a watch that will fit a wide variety of wrist sizes. The crown is signed, has excellent grip, and sits nicely in the crown guards when screwed down. The case back is clean and simple with no design etched into it. It's mostly circular brushed with a slim polished edge for some added visual interest. The bezel is 120 click unidirectional and has a great tactile feel without being sharp. Positive clicks and even resistance throughout. The bezel action is very good on this model. It uses an aluminum bezel insert that slopes up toward the box double dome sapphire crystal, which sits slightly above the bezel. The sapphire crystal has good clarity thanks to its inner anti-reflective coating. The original Tudor watch used acrylic crystal with a cyclops. Watchdives chose to include the superior sapphire crystal and ditched the date magnifier, which in my opinion is a plus on this watch. The dial is simple with printed indices. Logo and minute track is done very cleanly, so no complaints there. The dial and bezel insert are both in a matte blue color and complement each other very well. The date cutout is at the 3 o'clock position and does not have a frame around it, just like the original. The bracelet overall is excellent quality for its price range. It incorporates female end links which allow the bracelet to drape directly onto the case back. It tapers from 20 millimeters to about 16 at the clasp and is sized with screw pins, another big plus for this timepiece. The clasp is relatively simple but well executed, with a pressed upper that has the Watchdives logo lightly etched into it, nicely polished chamfered edges, 5 positions of micro adjustment, and a fully milled lower section. The fitment of the end link is also excellent, with no noticeable gap or play. It is very snug and even puts some Seiko Prospex divers over the $1,000 price point to shame. Going over the positives, I really like the shade of blue that is used for the dial and bezel insert. They look great and have a warmth to them and great vintage character. Although the indices are printed on the dial, the BGW9 lume application is very good throughout, and the lume potency competes well with more expensive watches. Here it is against some other blue dial dive watches. The finishing is outstanding at its price, and the bracelet feels like it should be on a more expensive watch, with its screw pin construction and great overall solidity. The watch head feels balanced on the wrist, the bezel grip is excellent without feeling sharp, and is fun to use with moderate resistance and a great tactile feel. Going over some aspects that could use improvement and refinement, the bottom edges of the case as well as the lug tips are sharp. Thankfully, it's not something that you will notice on wrist, but when you are handling the watch, it's almost immediately noticeable. The drilled lug holes are very close to the edge of the case, and while the function is great, I just don't like the look. The sterile caseback seems to be the norm with Subby style watches, but I would have preferred some branding, even if it was minimal, just to help further distinguish it from the pack. Lastly, I think the watch is a bit chunky, mostly due to the box double dome sapphire crystal being a little bit on the taller side. The side profile of the case is slab-sided. Slimming the mid case down would help it appear slimmer and help give it a more vintage look. Overall, with price dictating expectations, the Watchdives Vintage Sub is really great for the asking price of about $109 to $119 US. While San Martin still dominates above $200, Watchdives fills in a gap with their own branded watches, being priced from $60 to about $180, giving you plenty of options in quartz, mecha quartz, and automatic movement powered watches in lots of different styles. I like that Watchdives chose to homage this more classically proportioned sub, and the color choice is excellent. It's subtle, restrained, and sporty with good versatility, regardless if your attire is more casual or dressed up. If you like the look of the sub but want something a bit different with slightly more vintage dimensions, this sports piece is a superb option. Thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed this watch presentation, then make sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel to help us grow. Thanks again, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.